I want you to picture this. It's 11:30 on a Tuesday night. You're not out. You're not asleep. You're sitting on your bathroom floor, calculator app open, scrolling through credit card statements, doing math that keeps coming out wrong. That was me. I was making $58,000 a year, not rich, but not broke. I had a modest apartment, a used car, a job I showed up to every single day. And I had exactly $90 of breathing room every month after rent, utilities, groceries, and minimum payments. $90. Between me and complete financial disaster. Then my check engine light came on. Estimated repair, $300 to $800. I didn't have it. I, a grown adult with a salary, could not cover a basic car repair without putting it on a credit card that was already at $4,600, accruing 24% interest every single day. I wasn't crying on that bathroom floor. I was furious. Because I finally admitted something I'd been running from for years. My debt wasn't just costing me money. It was costing me my sleep, my confidence, my options, my relationships, my entire life. If that hits close to home, stay with me. Today we're talking about why paying off debt doesn't just fix your bank account, it changes the entire architecture of your daily life. And then I'm going to walk you through the exact steps to actually do it, starting from wherever you are right now. Not in theory, in practice. Let's get into it. The first thing that changes when debt hits zero is something you feel before you ever see it on paper. You sleep differently. Not a little better. Fundamentally differently. A 2025 study in the Journal of Financial Planning found that people carrying consumer debt experience clinically significant sleep disturbance at nearly twice the rate of debt-free individuals. The American Psychological Association consistently ranks money as the #1 stressor in America, above work, above health, above relationships. Here's what's happening biologically: when you're in debt, your nervous system never fully powers down. There's a low-grade cortisol loop running 24/7 in the background. You're not consciously thinking about your Visa balance while you're watching Netflix, but your brain is. It's always calculating. When that balance hits zero, the loop stops. People describe it as waking up feeling lighter, like someone removed a backpack they forgot they were wearing. That's not poetic. That's your cortisol finally dropping to a normal level for the first time in years. The second transformation is your relationship with risk. When you're in debt, every single decision gets filtered through one question. Can I afford for this to go wrong? Can I leave this job I hate? Can I ask for a raise if they might say no? Can I take an unpaid week off for a family emergency? Can I invest literally anything? When your minimum payments total $862 a month, the answer to all of those is usually no. Debt doesn't protect you, it traps you. It keeps you in jobs you've outgrown, in cities that don't serve you, shrinking your life down to the exact size of your remaining margin. I know a woman named Denise in Phoenix who paid off $31,000 in consumer debt over 26 months. The first thing she did after making that final payment? She quit a job she had hated for 4 years. She told me she literally couldn't quit before because she needed every single paycheck to land exactly on time with zero gaps. The debt had made her employer her hostage. Paying it off was the ransom. The third transformation is what I call the identity shift, and this is the most underrated one nobody talks about. When you're in debt, you carry a version of yourself in your head that is fundamentally behind. You think of yourself as someone who can't get it together, someone bad with money, and you start making decisions that confirm that story, because the statement every month seems to prove it. When you pay off your first debt, even a small one, something cracks open. You did that. The balance is zero. You proved the story wrong. And that shift in what you believe about yourself determines every financial decision you make for the rest of your life. The fourth change is mathematical, and it's the one that should genuinely scare you into action. The average American carries about $6,500 in credit card debt at 22.4% APR, paying only minimums. You'll pay over $9,000 in interest alone over 18 years, turning a $6,500 balance into $15,500 total. But that's only half the damage. That $9,000 you sent to the credit card company is $9,000 you didn't invest. At 8% returns over those same 18 years, it would have grown to roughly $32,000. The true cost of carrying that one balance? Not $15,500, closer to $47,500. Total U.S. household debt hit $18.8 trillion at the end of 2025. Credit card balances alone crossed $1.28 trillion. The delinquency rate reached 4.8%, the highest since before the 2008 financial crisis. This is not a personal failure. This is a national emergency hiding inside monthly statements that 150 million Americans have trained themselves not to open. The fifth transformation is your relationships. You say no to the trip your friends are planning, but you don't say why, so they think you're pulling away. You fight with your partner about money, except it's never really about the money, it's about the shame, the anxiety, the thing you're both pretending isn't there. According to the Institute for Divorce Financial Analysts, financial problems are the third leading cause of divorce in America. Ramsey Solutions found that debt-free couples report significantly higher relationship satisfaction. Debt doesn't live only in your bank account. It lives in every conversation you avoid, every invitation you decline, every argument that starts about dishes but is really about the $4,600 on the visa that neither of you wants to touch. Paying it off doesn't just fix your finances. It gives you back the emotional bandwidth to actually be present in your own life. So that's what's waiting on the other side of zero. Now let's talk about how you get there. Before you pick a strategy, you need to do something uncomfortable. You need to know exactly what you owe. Not approximately. Exactly. Every account, every balance, every interest rate, every minimum payment. Sit down with your statements and write 4 columns: the name of the debt, the balance, the APR, and the minimum monthly payment. It takes 30 minutes. You will feel worse immediately after doing it and significantly better within a week, because the monster finally has a shape. Shapeless threats are terrifying. Measurable problems are solvable. A realistic 2026 debt inventory might look like this. Credit card 1 at $4,200 and 24% APR with an $85 minimum. Credit card 2 at $2,300 and 22% APR with a $47 minimum. An auto loan at $19,800 and 7% with a $418 minimum. A student loan at $27,000 and 5.5% with a $290 minimum. A personal loan at $6,000 and 11% with a $142 minimum. Total debt, $59,300. Total minimums, $982 every single month. Once you have the inventory, the next step is finding extra money. Pull up your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements and highlight every charge that is not rent, utilities, insurance, gas, groceries, or a debt payment. For the average American household, that discretionary number runs between $800 and $1,500 a month. You don't have to cut all of it, you need to find $200 to $500 that, when you look at it honestly, isn't improving your life enough to keep you in debt for 3 more years. The average American spends $219 a month on subscriptions they can't even accurately name. Cancel 3 and you recover $60 to $90. Cut delivery orders from 3 times a week to once and that's $240 back. Brew coffee at home 4 days instead of 5 and that's another $80 to $100. These aren't deprivations, they're redirections. You're taking money from corporations that don't know your name and pointing it at a balance that has been running your life. Let's say you find $300 extra. Now you have $1,282 a month aimed at debt. The question is where to aim it first, and there are 2 primary methods. The debt snowball, popularized by Dave Ramsey, has you pay off your smallest balance first regardless of interest rate. Every extra dollar attacks that smallest debt while you pay minimums on everything else. When it hits 0, you roll that full payment onto the next smallest. Harvard Business Review found that people using this method are significantly more likely to eliminate their debt entirely, because the quick wins create real dopamine, and dopamine drives consistency. The debt avalanche has you pay off your highest interest rate first. Mathematically optimal, and a lending tree study found that in realistic American debt scenarios, the difference in total interest paid between Snowball and Avalanche was just $29. My honest take, if you've tried to pay off debt before and quit, use the Snowball. You need to see a balance hit 0 within the first few months or your brain will tell you it's hopeless. If you're highly disciplined and motivated by math, use the Avalanche. There's also a hybrid: start Snowball for the first 1 or 2 debts to build momentum, then switch to Avalanche for everything after. Best of both worlds, and exactly what I did. Whatever method you choose, the next step is to automate everything. Set up automatic minimum payments on every account, then set up a separate automatic extra payment targeting your chosen debt, scheduled to leave your account the day after your paycheck hits. If you have to manually transfer money every month, you will eventually skip a month, then another, then the system collapses. Automation removes your willpower from the equation entirely. Now let me give you the accelerators that speed up the timeline without a second job. Call your credit card companies and ask for a lower APR today. A Bankrate survey found that 76% of cardholders who asked received a rate reduction. A 5-point drop on a $4,000 balance saves you roughly $200 a year from a 10-minute phone call. Look into balance transfer cards. Several major issuers offer 0% APR promotions for 12 to 21 months. Transferring a $4,000 balance from 24% to 0% with a 3% transfer fee costs you $120 but saves roughly $960 in interest over 12 months. Net savings of $840 from one application. Just make sure you pay it off before the promo period ends. Direct every windfall straight at debt, tax refund, work bonus, birthday money, all of it. The average tax refund is around $3,100, and applied directly to a credit card, that single payment nearly eliminates the average American's entire card balance in one shot. And sell something. Most households have $1,000 to $5,000 in unused items sitting in closets right now. List 5 things on Facebook Marketplace this weekend, price them to move fast, and put every dollar directly at your target debt. Back to our example, $59,300 in total debt, $982 in minimums, $300 extra, 1 tax refund per year directed at debt. Using the Snowball method, credit card 2 is gone by month 7. Credit card 1 is gone by month 17. The personal loan is gone by month 28, at which point you're rolling over $1,000 a month at the auto loan. The auto loan is gone by month 42. The student loan is gone by month 55. In roughly 4.5 years, $59,300 is completely eliminated. That $982 in monthly minimums is now $982 of investment money. Add the $300 you were already finding and you have $1,282 a month to put to work. At 8% returns over 20 years, that becomes approximately $760,000. The debt was costing you $760,000 in future wealth, and that's what was hiding behind the minimum payments the whole time. A few guardrails to protect the process. Keep a small emergency buffer of $1,000 to $2,000 in a high-yield savings account. In 2026, the best accounts are paying around 4% APY, so that when the inevitable car repair hits, you don't have to restart the cycle on a credit card. Stop using your credit cards entirely during the payoff period, because you cannot drain a bathtub while the faucet is still running. Tell one person about your plan, a partner, a friend, someone you trust, because silence is where debt thrives and accountability changes behavior in ways motivation alone never can. And track your progress visually, because your brain needs to see the number shrinking to believe the process is working. Somewhere around month 6 or 8 you are going to hit the motivation valley. The excitement wears off, the second debt is larger, progress feels slow, your friends are posting vacations and new cars while you're eating leftovers and making extra payments on a card from 2023. Every single person who has been through this describes the same valley, and they all describe the same thing on the other side, a quiet confidence that doesn't come from earning more money. It comes from knowing that every dollar in your account actually belongs to you. None of it is owed. None of it has someone else's name on it. I made my last debt payment on a rainy Wednesday in November, $2,117, the final installment on a personal loan that had followed me for 3 years. I transferred the money, watched the balance update to 0, and just sat there for about 10 minutes doing nothing. I didn't celebrate. I didn't post about it. I just sat in the silence of not owing anything to anyone for the first time in my adult life. That silence was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. If you're sitting where I was, calculator open, heart racing, wondering if you'll ever actually get out from under this, I need you to hear me. You will. The path exists. It's boring, it's slow, and it works. Start with the inventory. Find the $300. Pick your method. Automate it, protect the process, and let the math do exactly what it was always going to do. The other side is real, and the only thing I would change is that I wish I had started sooner. If this video helped you see your debt differently, or gave you a plan you can actually start today, please hit subscribe. Every day on Liana Invests I break down real personal finance strategies built for real people. No fluff, no gatekeeping, just the stuff that actually moves the needle. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. I'll see you in the next one.